You know what, video game publishers? Screw your immersion, yeah! That's right, we don't need custom physics engines for each blade of grass or a simulation that mimics every single bodily function, Hideo. The whole point of playing games is to escape the drudgery of life, not recreate it, so stop reminding us about nuisances like jobs or needing to wee every once in a while, okay, Hideo? Talking to you. Besides, despite your best attempts at startling realism, some things still don't come close. Sure, you might have a fully fledged wildlife ecosystem and horse testicles that react to the cold, but your main character can still carry enough medicine in a tiny satchel to open a branch of boots. And also, why hasn't he died of dysentery yet? Nope, some aspects of games just don't make any sense in the cold, harsh, gotta pay those bills tinted light of reality. Don't get us wrong, we fully appreciate the silliness in games as we do any title that pushes the technological boundaries, but that won't stop us from pushing our glasses up and making nitpicking observations that, actually that wouldn't happen IRL. Sorry. I'm Ben from TripleJump, and here are 10 video game tropes that defy real-world logic. Number 10. NPCs that just do nothing. Unless you suffer from severe Truman Show delusion, a real condition apparently, it's on Wikipedia and everything, you can accept that other strangers have their own lives to live. It's not like their only purpose is to exist solely for the benefit of the main protagonist, you. Except in video games. Plenty of digital towns, villages, and middle-of-nowheres are cursed with these lethargic layabouts. Take, for example, this poor chap, doomed to read the same news article, stuck in the same Poke Center for 23 years. Yeah, some locals have mastered the art of looking busy, but it still doesn't explain how they bring home the moolah. Standing around town, creepily telling children about how impressive your beard is doesn't count as a full-time job, you weirdo. And don't think you're innocent either, Link. Just because these people are stuck in Groundhog Day paralysis doesn't mean you can go around smashing up their priceless vases. Honestly, they worked hard to earn those. Oh right, they didn't. That's the whole point. To be fair to these titles though, not every game can produce a stunning recreation of real-life routines, such as Oblivion's Radiant AI. Right, Ongar?
You treacherous little filth! How dare you steal from me!
How are you?
I've been better.
Just like real people. Number 9. Leveling instantly makes you more skilled. Look, sleep is important. It's probably the closest we can get to a real-life level-up screen. The time of rest when we absorb all of life's lessons, recover from the day's trials, maybe try to forget that embarrassing moment at work where you had to walk around in public dressed as Spider-Man. But learning is a gradual process, and getting better at something doesn't happen overnight. No matter how many jumps on a banister your Fitbit recorded today, you're more likely to gain +2 crutches than +5 acrobatics with that sort of behavior. And we can only dream of spending all day wandering around, noting new discoveries, and cash in those experiences on something completely unrelated, like the ability to perform brain surgery. Sadly, it doesn't quite work like that. Yeah, reading books might improve your intelligence if you even want to risk it, but we've spent weeks at the casino and we didn't feel like our luck increased at all. By the way, if a guy called Big Tony asks, we've moved to the Cayman Islands and/or we died in a tragic blimp accident. Number 8. Instantaneous fast travel that doesn't cost money. I suppose technically fast travel does exist. It's called public transport, or if you've scrounged enough pennies together from broken vases, your own personal jet. You know the type of fast travel we're talking about though, the kind where you point at an icon on a map and seconds later you materialize in front of that location, making a mockery of space and or time. We've spoken previously about all the video game things we'd love to be real, the ability to teleport being one of them, so the fact that fast travel isn't physically possible in our stupid, boring world makes us angry and confused and possibly hungry. If you're a stickler for realism, some games make an effort to provide more believable travel options. Look at Spidey traveling on the subway like a normal person, for instance, or a psychotic murderer taking a taxi in GTA. But when the likes of Ezio I don't want to walk on the floor choose to Matrix glitch to the other side of the city when us normies have to deal with the rush hour crowds of Florence, well, we've half a mind to dob him in for not paying his congestion charge. Number 7. Talk to every single person before leaving. Another RPG trope this, but one that, if mimicked in real life, would see you put away for excessive harassment. We all know the types of NPCs that just loiter around, waiting for a chance to tell us some pointless part of their insignificant lives or give us one of their legendary hot takes. Oh, you like shorts? Great, that definitely counts as a personality trait. But we forgive them because sometimes they'll actually be useful and hand out a freebie as thanks for listening to their woes. Bless you, you poor lonely background character. Problem is, this only encourages our ruthless, greedy streak, making us talk to every single person in the area code in the hopes we get another 5 cracked red eye orbs to add to the growing stockpile. We get it. Nobody wants to leave an area feeling like they missed something. Leaving the shops only to realize you forgot to grab an incomparable Habu drink is a hassle, but going back and verbally assaulting everyone in the shops is not the answer, unless you want to be blacklisted at your local Tesco. Number 6. Throwing away entire clips of bullets. You know how it be. You're busy pawning noobs in the latest Call of Honor contemporary gunfight, on for a kill streak of 12,000. Bang! Reload! Bang! Reload! Bang! Hang on, where the hell is our ammo? What do you mean those bullets don't magically reappear in fresh new magazines? Fine. I'll go back and pick up those discarded clips then. You see, actual gun maintenance is tricky. Even a simple reload has its pitfalls and could lead to some embarrassing performance issues. It's okay, Ocelot, it happens to plenty of men. Cats, or whatever you are. Luckily, most modern mainstream shooters will indulge our habitual reload abuse and not punish us for making us sit down in a corner, counting out our individual rounds and loading them into a clip.
Clips are what civvies use in their hair. This is called a magazine.
Oh, alright Bangalore, you must be fun at parties. Honestly, and we thought we were being pedantic with this list. But if you did want that sort of headache or immersive experience, then there are options out there with military simulations like Armour or Insurgency, so you can add magazine management to your list of worries when you're getting shot at from 5 different directions. Hooray! Number 5. X-ray or stealth vision. Forget magic stealth sight, the only thing you're likely to get if you keep doing a weird squatting crouch is chronic back pain and funny looks from strangers. But that doesn't stop video games from perpetuating the abhorrent lies that anyone of a stealthy disposition can just concentrate hard and adopt X-ray eyes, heightened senses, eagle vision, detect life spells, really good hearing, or whatever else the kids are calling it these days. Now, we understand clever gadgets like thermal sights exist, and we're not ruling out Deus Ex-style cybernetic body mods in the future. Hell, there's a slim chance of superpowers being a real thing. Please don't ruin our dream of meeting actual real-life Spider-Man, okay? But don't tell us that Far Cry 3's Jason Brody just happened to find a pair of binoculars that gave him predator vision. And the last time we checked, The Last of Us featured a regular sad bloke called Joel, not a super soldier called J03L. Who could sense enemies through walls because he's a robot man. And since it's been over 10 seconds since our last mention of the Elder Scrolls, honourable mention to any poor NPC who was born without spatial awareness or long-term memories. What's that? Our dearest and best friend has been struck with a cruel case of arrow to the face. I'll swear bloody, violent vengeance on whatever scumbag did this. Well, I would, but it was clearly just the wind, so let's put the sword away and go back to our important job of staring at a cave wall.
You've seen way shrunk. Must have been the wind.
Number 4. Invisible walls and artificial boundaries. That's great, it starts with a landscape, higher ground in a mountain range. No way past, it's very strange. Travelling moron finds a giant Goron, large crowd of dancing clowns, arbitrary wall of clouds, piss-coloured force field, dangerous minefield, killed by your own troops, running from the battlefield, poorly timed festival, Dorman is a massive tool, can't climb over this waist-high wall, stupid jump, won't jump, can't go that way cause the old man's drunk. Wandering the wasteland, you cannot go that way, turn back, what about a jetpack? Jet ski, sailing free till you sink into the sea, fly far, refuse to learn, please make a U-turn, super grizzled cowboy doesn't know how to swim, building work, guards a jerk, still won't let me in, door locked, door blocked, alleyway full of rocks, forest dwellers suck, it's the edge of the world as we know it. So, yeah, in short, invisible walls in all forms are stupid and make no sense. Next point. Number 3. Water is insta-death.
Speak.
The lot of us, we can't swim.
As we hinted at earlier, water is probably the most dangerous substance known to video game characters, despite almost all living organisms requiring the wet stuff to literally survive. Apparently though, aquaphobia is a very real and contagious epidemic, an affliction often seen in older titles but not lost on our more contemporary brethren. Doesn't matter if you're a stone-cold cowboy killer, a manic bandicoot, an 80s crime aficionado, or a highly trained medieval assassin. One touch of that deadly H2O and you'll dissolve faster than the Wicked Witch in a water gun fight. And if it's not the protagonists, it's the support characters. You'd think guards living in Venice, aka the City of Water, would have worked out a simple doggy paddle by now. It's all rather ridiculous, but there are some reasonable exceptions. And sometimes it's not the water you need to fear, but rather the beasts that dwell beneath. Sharks acting as an underwater border patrol, piranha-infested lakes, or a ravenous pack of slaughterfish are all valid reasons to stay out of the deep end. But we all know how spiders hate bath time, and yet Spidey's managed to conquer his biggest fear. So take inspiration, fellow game characters, and fear not the slippery death juice. Number 2. Eating/drinking cures all injuries. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and 1,000 cheese wheels in a minute cures extreme blood loss and blunt force trauma. Cholesterol be damned! You can trust us, we're trained medical professionals. Legal disclaimer, Ben Potter and Peter Austin do not represent the views of trained medical professionals, and under no circumstances should you try to consume this much dairy or attempt to run with a herd of cheese wheels down a steep mountain face. Shockingly, despite everything we've learned from video games, eating a hearty meal or downing a pint of milk isn't really going to heal 17 stab wounds. Yeah, sorry Mr. Heavy, turns out that sandwich was just a placebo and you had the power inside you all along, and most likely a serious heart condition too. Likewise, drinking booze won't make you stronger. Caffeine doesn't make you more intelligent, and that 200-year-old perfectly preserved pie is likely neither preserved or at this point even pie. Seriously, do not consume that! Some games get away with more simply because fantasy setting, with Geralt's mutant metabolism in The Witcher, or because future setting, such as with Deus Ex's nanite-infested leads. But honestly, while we love the idea of synthetic space tacos with healing properties, it's just as likely to lead to severe stomach cramps and bum piss. Number 1. Unlimited backpack or pocket space.
Hold on to that ammo. I'm already carrying too much gear.
Said nobody in any video game ever, am I right? Well, apart from that one just there, but Mr. J.C. Denton already has 5 pistols, 2 assault shotguns, a sniper rifle, a flamethrower, and 29 packs of soy food, all crammed into that slim-fitting trench coat. Somehow. Look, the logistics aren't important. Should we question how Mr. Threepwood can carry all those cannonballs, idols, gopher repellents, and literal red herrings? Best not to. Is Minecraft Steve technically a being of immense strength because he can hold up to 2,304 blocks of solid stone? Yeah, probably. Is it near impossible that a sinewy chosen undead can lug around 30 different armor sets and a wide array of very pointy weapons hidden Gwyn only knows where? Not at all. From Resi's inbuilt mini-game of inventory Tetris to Final Fantasy's generous 99 item limit, games have always played fast and loose with the concept of carrying things. But honestly, there's a simple, logical answer for these incredibly economical space savers. You ready? IKEA gremlins. Yeah. It's these little helpers, after all, that ensure your 20-foot, impossible-to-pronounce table fits into a 10-centimeter square flat-pack box, and game characters have been illegally using their patented physics-defying sorcery for years now. We're on to you, IKEA, and if you don't want us to tell the world your dirty secrets, you'll pay us handsomely. That's right, all the billies, fliardfuls, and gronkulars you've got, all of them, unmarked packaging, 24 hours from now, and some meatballs and weird gingerbread as well. And there we have it. We successfully managed to blackmail ourselves some new living furniture. Oh, and something about video games as well, I suppose. Let us know in the comments what other game tropes you think would be downright silly in real life. You can follow myself and TripleJump on Twitter here, and while you're at it, why not support the things you enjoy by having a look at our Patreon. Finally, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Ben from TripleJump, and thanks for watching.